I hope it's happy. Lindy, good morning. All right. Listen, perhaps a lot of Diddy supporters are going to come in here. Unless they are breaking the guidelines of YouTube, let them stay. If they say something nasty about me and it's not against the guidelines, let them stay. Okay? I don't care. People mostly talk good about me. Folks, I want to begin with something today. So please try to listen this to the end. Okay? You know, I'm the last guy in the world that ever wanted to come on social media. After I wrote my book, I got several requests to be interviewed. And I did the interviews, folks. I did over 300 interviews. It's all there out on YouTube. Okay? When I began this channel, I wanted to begin with only positive things. And if you go back and check out what I had posted on my channel here, you'll see that the first one was a very positive young man that became successful in the insurance business, came from nothing, and succeeded. How he overcome obstacles. Now, a few days ago at the studio, I interviewed another young lady from Texas that has a dream of becoming a singer and what she's doing to make her dream come true. So I always wanted to try to bring positive things. But unfortunately, due to circumstances, because I lived the kind of life that I lived, I done what I done, I took responsibility for everything I done, okay? Everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, I took responsibility for it. Today, you see my title, I talk about three people. You know, this Charlie Kirk becoming unalive, I first saw it with my own eyes. I believe it was on Instagram. They had the video. I saw it. I saw the blood come gushing out. 31-year-old man. Who did that? A 22-year-old man. In a split second, a split second, that young man on that roof with his finger ended the life of Charlie Kirk. For what? But he also ended his own life. Did he think he was doing that there? Okay. I don't think so. I don't think he thought about his own life. What kind of hatred or vengeance could he have a guy against a guy like Charlie Kirk? Yes, he's been found. Yes, he's been arrested. Thank you, folks okay, who subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Okay. Uh, so today, folks, I cannot articulate as good about what happened to Charlie Kirk, what's going on in this world, okay, as the young man a few years younger than me. His name is Judge Joe Brown. Have you heard of him? I watched an interview that he did on The Real Dana. Here it is right here, folks. The Real Dana. Judge Joe Brown. One of the most intelligent, articulate individuals. Judge Joe Brown broke it down, talked about history. History. History is something that most people don't study no more. They don't know what the history of our country is anymore. People don't read anymore. They only hear what they want to hear. They don't listen. That's the type of world that we live in. He explains how the media and social media is responsible for all this here. This guy, I'd like to meet him someday. I'd like to have him on my show. I'm going to try to reach out to him. But folks, if you haven't listened to that interview, you want to learn exactly what happened to Charlie Kirk, why, and why it's not ending with Charlie Kirk. It's only beginning. We become a country of politics. Everything is politics. I hate politics. You probably noticed that I haven't been around in a few days. I was even debating about coming here this morning because I'm actually thinking of ending all social media because it's all so negative. But yet, I'm one person who comes to you and try to bring you positive things. And speaking of positive, that's enough about Charlie Kirk, okay? And he's all over the news, he's all over social media, everybody's talking about him. But I urge you to listen to Judge Joe Brown, okay? That's one man that I would love to be friends with. And for anybody out there young, listen to him. Learn, okay? That man is a very intelligent individual. Learn something. Let's talk about something positive before I go on to Diddy and why Diddy was indicted and what's going to happen or what we think is going to happen and all that. But let's talk about something positive. Charlie Sheen. I watched the whole Netflix, what was it, several hours. Now, I happen to have met Charlie Sheen before. And folks, I bring you the receipts of it. Okay? Can you see that envelope? Alright? That envelope's got Charlie Sheen's name on it. Back in the day when I was doing a lot of things here in Hollywood, I had a reason I had to confront Charlie on a certain situation. And you know what? I tell you what. He met me that night. We met at it was the Holiday Inn at the time. It's changed since then. On Sunset and the 405. Okay? And I went by the name of Junior in those days because I was doing a lot with Heidi Fleiss, the Beverly Hills Madam, and I was involved in the underworld of Los Angeles like you can't believe. Okay? Here's what Charlie wrote to me. Junior, no hard feelings. I'm sorry for the hassle. Yeah, folks, it's right there. I'm sure Charlie probably will remember the incident. I reached out to Charlie's agent. I sent him a copy of this, and I would love to be able to have the opportunity to interview Charlie because he's now sober. He's been sober for 7 years. It's really astonishing that he's even alive with the amount of things, the drugs that he took. But he is, and he's doing positive things. And I'll tell you, the guy's a great actor. There's no question about it. His father's one of the most amazing guys anybody ever wants to meet. He's just a down to earth. The whole family of Martin Sheen's family, all really good people, folks. You know, they're down to earth. And what more can I say about them? Now I talk about negativity, negativity. People are asking over here, who is this guy? Okay? Well, you know, we live in a world people don't read. I wrote a book. A lot of people have read my book. All right, The Accidental Gangster. It's there. It's available. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. If you want an autographed copy, and you want to support me, okay? Go to my website. It's right there in my profile. Very simple, okay? Most people don't go to profile. You know, when I first learned and saw Judge Joe Brown, you know what I did? I said, let me find out more about this guy. I Googled his name and I read about him. He's an amazing guy. We got 37 people here. You see, folks, I come here, I can't get a lot of people. I don't make any money from YouTube to come here. Okay? I'm doing this on my own. I paid it with my own. A few of you occasionally hit that thanks button and help me out. And it's deeply appreciated. I just got my printing bill for the month from Hewlett Packard. Okay? $58. $58 I spent because I can't read things off the phone like a lot of you could. Okay? I had to print it out. Alright? Now, honestly, folks, I like coming here and bringing people positive things, but you don't want to listen to it. You want to hear about bad things. Okay? You want to hear about negative things. And you wonder why this world is in shambles. Why this country is in shambles. Politics. People rejoicing and are happy of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Did you watch TMZ? Folks, I remember the day when that, what's his name? Henry Levin, okay, started TMZ. It was a great show. All right, it was showing Hollywood people. All right, he was in the entertainment business. And now he's partners with Mark Garagos. He's getting involved in the law, getting involved in religion and other things that he should not be discussing. And he's losing followers. I can't watch him no more. But it's all over social media. Patrick Bet David, all right, did a show on it. Okay? As Harvey Levin, as he was talking, when his people were watching a car chase, And when that announcer who was announcing the car chase announced what happened to Charlie Kirk, Harvey Levin's people were celebrating. They were happy. You could hear it. Hello, Adrian. I'm Rose. Thank you, everybody, for coming here today. I deeply do appreciate it. All right, please hit that subscribe button, okay, and so forth. And you want to hit the thanks button, okay. If not, okay. I really don't care no more, okay? Because, uh, somebody wants to borrow $20. Why don't you send me 50 and I'll loan you 20? How does that sound? Okay? Mm. Frankie Medina, hi. So, folks, I've given a lot of time. Diddy's in a pickle, as you call it. We all know he's in MDC Brooklyn, exactly where I was. I spent 30 months. He's only been there 1 year so far. Will he walk October 3rd? I don't know. Okay? Will the judge give him 20 years? I don't know. Somebody asked if I need money. Yes, I do. I don't come out here and tell you, okay? My life changed after I got out of the life. I don't do the things that I used to do every day that I made money at. Okay? Thank God I'm a veteran because I do get a disability from the VA. Okay? And I get $900 a month from Social Security. With that money, I'm able to pay my rent and I'm able to live. Okay? I don't have a life where I can go out and, sit in some joint and have a few drinks and do that. I don't do that anymore. My life has changed. But one thing that I do, folks, I come to you every day. I'm respectful. I'm honest. I'm truthful. And people can't take those things. I come to you shaven, dressed, and be presentable to you. I don't see others doing that. Thank you, Frankie, subscribing. Everybody who's subscribing, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chrissy. Now, folks, let's get back to, you know, Diddy. What happened? Now, there's a lot going on. I was just listening to Ticket TV. All right, he just came out with some announcement. I haven't gotten the paperwork yet. It's got something to do with Maureen Comey. I guess she's suing the DOJ for being fired because they fired her or something. I don't know what it's about. All right, but Ticket TV is reporting it, so you can watch it there. I'll get the pacer after I'm through with this show here, and then I will. Uh, Thank you, Frankie Medina. Boy, Frankie, do I know you from elsewhere? You really sound familiar. Huh? Tisha, you were on Ticket there? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay? A ticket gives you, Ticket is another young man, I guess a young man. I haven't met Ticket yet. I really would like to meet him because he's one of the other few very people on social media that brings you the truth and brings you the facts and his opinion on it. So I wanted you to know that there. All right. Diddy, all right. First of all, do you know that who all, you heard the saying before, officer of the court? Do you know what that means? I bet you don't. Every lawyer that passed the bar is an officer of the court. All right. So let me read it to you. All licensed lawyers are considered officers of the court in the United States, meaning they hold a fundamental duty to uphold the law, promote justice, and maintain the integrity of the legal system, which is separate from their duty to their clients. This status subjects them to the court's jurisdictions and requires them to adhere to professional and ethical rules. Professional and ethical. Do you think it's professional and ethical for Mark Garagos getting information from his daughter who works with Mark Agnaloff and then going on TMZ when he knows that information is not to be disclosed, but he discloses it? I don't find that ethical. Lawyers have a direct obligation to the judicial system to act with candor, truthfulness, and obedience to court rules and orders. Did you see that in the Diddy case? I didn't. Okay. The role goes beyond representing a client's private interests and includes cooperating with a court to advance the end of justice. The ends of justice. Lawyers are bound by strict ethical rules such as those outlined in the American Bar Association Model Rules of Professional Conduct. Because they are officers of the court, lawyers can be disciplined by the court for violating these duties and for failing to conduct themselves with the required dignity and courtesy. Dignity and courtesy. Did you see that happening? You don't see that happening, but you don't see the judges doing anything about it no more. Okay? That's my landline. Let's see who it is. Spam. Spam calls. That's all I get over here. I'm going to call Spectrum, and I think I get rid of my landline. I don't know why. I'm paying $25 a month for it. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what it is to be an officer of the court and so forth. Now, Diddy couldn't pull off that weirdo stuff in New York. That's why he is in New York now. Right. Let's talk about Diddy. Now, look, we all don't like Diddy. But the basic reason we don't like him is because we all saw what he did to Cassie Ventura at the International Hotel just about a half a mile away from me down the street here. Okay? You all seen it. Everybody's seen it. A lot of talk about his freak off parties. You know what? There's nothing illegal about his freak off parties. Having parties is legal. But when you are lacing the drinks and putting drugs into other people, That's illegal. That's illegal. When you are recording people without letting them know they're being recorded, that's illegal. Cassie did it to herself. Yeah, because Cassie had a dream to become a singer. And she had the opportunity to be produced by the one and only Sean Combs, Puffy, D. Diddy, Punk Diddy, whatever you want to call him. Okay? He did not make her dream come true. He utilized her in another way. You don't understand that for you people that want to blame Cassie. Yeah, I blame her to a certain extent. It took her a while before she woke up. But it was not her civil lawsuit that brought the charges against Diddy. It began before that with somebody very major with multi billions and billions of dollars that Diddy tried to go against. Okay? Yeah, Adrian, we all know that, Adrian. You're not telling me anything I don't know. No, hey, Lindy, let him stay on. I don't care. Okay? You folks are not understanding the reality of what when they raided Diddy. Okay? It was in March 2024. Raids on Sean Diddy Combs property in Los Angeles and Miami. Federal agents seized numerous items, including weapons, drugs, electronics, and supplies alleged to have been used in free sex parties. Break that down, folks. The electronics is what they wanted. Weapons and equipment. Three AR-15 rifles with one described as untraceable due to a defaced serial number. Why would Diddy have a rifle with a defaced serial number? Only one single reason, folks. A drum magazine and other ammunition, a loaded 45 caliber, a bulletproof vest, white powder that tested positive for cocaine and ketamine, pink MDMA tablets, magic mushrooms, crystal meth, a suitcase labeled Diddy used to transport marijuana, nitrous oxide, I don't know what that is, bags of various drugs, more than 1,000. Who cares about baby oil? Oh, he had a fetish about baby oil. Okay? That's not illegal either. Besides physical items like guns and drugs, the raids on Sean Diddy Combs property yielded significant electronic and digital evidence, according to court documents. Electronic, video. That's all our government wanted. That's all. We got Nancy Lyon joining us here. Thank you, Nancy. That's how they wanted, folks. You know why they wanted it? They didn't want. Everybody wants to report that Justin Bieber, Usher, Fox, all these actors and actresses were part of it. They don't care about those people, folks. They're not powerful enough. It's the powerful people that Diddy had at those parties. It's the powerful people that he recorded at those parties. doing things that are illegal, that are disgusting, that are all that stuff. That's all they wanted. Same thing with the Epstein. They don't care about the victim. They make it up like they care about the victim, but they don't. That was proven. Our Department of Justice. 2 weeks ago, you had all the victims of Epstein gathered outside of the White House there. I didn't see Donald Trump. I didn't see Pam Bondi. I didn't see Kash Patel. I didn't see Bongino. I saw none of them people there. None of them. So am I upset? Yes, I'm upset, folks. Okay. Folks, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please, what are you waiting for? All right, hit that subscribe button. Like. All right. And anybody gonna hit that thanks button today? Show me a little bit of love here. Don't look like it. Sure would appreciate something here today, folks. All right? Because my time is valuable. I get paid for my time for what I do. I help a lot of people out, and I want you to understand something before I continue here. People call me. They want a favor, okay? They have a problem with somebody owes them money, or somebody's doing something, or whatever it is. Folks, when I take on, there's Nancy Line, $50. My God, Nancy, thank you so much. All right, you have no idea how much that's going to help me. Thank you. Folks, because I'm not big enough to be making money on YouTube, and I don't know how they figure things out. So it's the money you folks give me through thanks that support me and pay for the things that I go through. So Nancy Line, she's one of the best, and she and I become friends. And God bless you, Nancy. Thank you. Uh, but Diddy's always the big topic. It's a negative subject. What's going to happen to him, I don't know. What should happen to him is what I think. What should happen to him, a lot of you think the same thing. But there's a hearing coming up on, the 23rd or 25th of this month, which is not that far away. You're right, Jeff. Jesus is. Thank you, real cowboy heart. Thank you. Okay? Folks, whatever is within your budget and you could afford, if it's $1.99, if it's 50, if it's 100, whatever it is, it's deeply appreciated. I want to thank real Kellen Bart there. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go back. Now, when the race took, all right? The indictment came on September 16th, 2024, where Diddy was arrested in a Manhattan hotel. The arrest came after a grand jury indicted him on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. Okay, that's where they made a mistake, was on the RICO. I think Marine Comey was trying to imitate what Elizabeth Geddes did in the Eastern District with R. Kelly. Okay? Just my opinion. Okay? Which was a fatal mistake. It was May 17th. CNN released surveillance footage from 2016 showing Combs assaulting his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Seriously, was she really his girlfriend? He had so many girls. I mean, what did he have? A harem going on over there? Everybody was his girlfriend. Okay. Jeff, I try to come live 3, 4 times a week. Sometimes I'll do 5. Okay. All right. Brendan wants to know who I am. Okay. Now, Brendan's a typical example. People want to know who I am. You hit my profile. You go to my website. I'm 80 years old. I know enough to do that. All right. Why can't young people know that? They're supposed to be experts in social media, and they can't go there and figure out, oh, let me find out who this guy is. I pray for everything, Pastor Zach. Okay. Now it's said that when they caught Diddy at the hotel that he had drugs on him and he was preparing for another freak off. Okay? So listen, the law is the law. I don't make the laws. Congress makes the laws. We got a lot of laws on our books that should not be there. If you really study the RICO Act, you will find that it's illegal and unconstitutional, but they don't do nothing about it. You know, you got the Alexander brothers. You know who they are? Out of Miami. They got a trial coming up in the Southern District in New York. 2 white boys with lots of money they made in real estate. You got Abercrombie and Fitch, another trial coming out. You know what? All those people there, and you add Epstein, they are all white. So people want to try to say that they went after Diddy because he's black. Everybody wants to play the black card. Okay? That's not the reason, folks. Our Department of Justice has gone downhill so far. Eventually, all the lying that the U.S. attorneys do, the FBI do, it just continues. Yeah, Chris, criminals come in every shade, every size, every nationality. It don't make a difference. Folks, you ought to see what's going on here in Los Angeles. It's really crime ridden like you can't believe. Uh, I have no idea what the future of the world is, folks. But as I told you, alright? As I told you, Judge Joe Brown put it exactly what's happening. And all this political stuff is making things in our country worse. Ivan, I wish I had the crystal ball to be able to answer that question of what's going to happen to Diddy. And I'm going to tell you why I'm confused. Now, I am not a lawyer, but I studied law. Okay, I studied the law only because of the fact that I've been indicted 4 times in my life. Okay, and on my next show, folks, I'm going to tell you about an indictment. Okay? I'm going to tell you about a parole violation. Maybe I'll do it right now. So hang in. Okay? I wanted to answer that young, uh, what should happen to Diddy and what will happen to Diddy, I don't have the answer. Okay? Because you don't get a case like Diddy's often. Somebody with the kind of money that he has. Now, there's people out there saying he's broke. He's not broke yet, folks. Okay, he's got a long way before he goes broke because he's still got a few $100 million. Okay, and he got serious assets. He's not worth $1 billion no more, but he's worth somewhere around 300 to 400 million. 300 to 400 million, folks, a lot of money. Okay, so he's got money. He has a propaganda machine. There's somebody operating behind the scenes. My thoughts is KK, Christina Corner, okay? And that's where all these people come in to say nasty things they're doing, okay? They got a propaganda machine out there, okay? Trying to win this in case and the population, okay? You're right, Chris. He's just too many people work. He's got the money. He's got the money to pay. All right. So now going back to let's go back now. When Diddy was indicted, they walk into court. Diddy's lawyer, prosecutors. Now at that time it was Damian Williams. Remember, it was Damian Williams before Maureen Comey. And when Trump won the election, Damian Lewis resigned because he knew Trump was going to replace him. Okay? And now Trump has replaced and put in Jay Clayton, who is going after Diddy very vigorously. Very vigorously. He's asking the judge for more time. Okay? Diddy's lawyers asked for a hearing. They wanted to bring in these uh, sex workers. They thought we were going to defend Diddy. Okay, then the prosecutor just posted, sent to the court. Okay, they added more victims to Diddy's list. So Diddy's trying to get the case thrown out, overturned. I don't think the judge will do that. I don't know. I don't have the answer. Because money, folks, money does very funny things. When you had the kind of money that Diddy has, he could buy people off. Simple. And who's the dirtiest people to pay out? Is our politicians. They're always there with their hand out. Yeah. Prosecutors. Yeah. So, are there investigations? I would assume that there are, but I don't know for sure. I thought I had the answers at one time, but I don't. I don't have them, folks. Daddy, you claim the devil, you're going to claim the drugs, okay? Adrian, what's that there, Jeff? Jeff LaPointe. Adrian Core, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what you're saying there, buddy. I'm doing good. See, I don't mind if people call me granddaddy. Folks, I know I'm 80 years old. I'm not on the upside. So, each day that I wake up, I'm very grateful that I got another day. All right? Hey, there's Sonia. Where you been, Sonia? Haven't seen you around, kid. How you doing, Gordon? I'm 80, but I got more memory. I got more energy than most young people. Okay? I'm very agile, very quick. I'm very fast. All right? I'm sorry about your mom. Sonia, thank you very much. There's Sonia. She's the best. You folks are doing great today. I appreciate these things. So, folks, let me tell you a story. I got it. Uh, if you read my book, you know how I was the guy that robbed the LA City jail of cable boxes. Now, that was a state case, state of California, and I was put on probation. And I can't remember what I did or what. One day I wasn't getting a call from my probation officer when to report, so I called there, and they tell me I was violated, and that there's a warrant out for me. I go, what? I got nothing in the mail, no phone call, no nothing. I go, what the hell did I do? So now I needed another lawyer, all right? And I went to my friend's restaurant, Frankie's, and there was a guy named Ronnie who was another gangster from California who called him from prison, and they recommended this lawyer from Orange County. His name was Kevin. I called him. I ended up hiring him. He was a really good lawyer. We became very close. Okay? But, he tried to play several sides of the fence. But he won a case in the state, all right, with this other individual that I mentioned, all right, that really echoed the chambers. And I had to go to court. It was way out in the valley. And, I'm trying to think of exactly why. It had something to do with an individual. And this individual didn't want to show up to court. I was told he wasn't going to show up to court. And I drove up, it was way out in the San Fernando Valley. Never forget that day. We had a court date, okay? And I'm sitting there. My attorney walks in. The district attorney tries to go over and shake his hand, okay? My attorney would not shake his hand. He does not become friends with the opposition. And that's very rare because they all try to become friends with the opposition to try to get a better deal for their client. Okay? And next thing you know, when I was parking a car that day, I see this guy who wasn't supposed to show up. He's parking his car. And I get in the corner, call my lawyer. I said, the guy's here. He's sitting in the back. And he said, yeah, but he didn't want to come. He said the FBI made him come that day. This was a state case, but the FBI went to that guy's house and made him come to court that day. So my lawyer comes to me. He said, "Look, this guy just wants a few dollars." I forgot what it was. It wasn't a whole lot, $1,000 or something like that. There. So the lawyer said, "I got it at home." I said, "Because back in those days, I kept cash around." So it came up, and we agreed to pay the $1,000 and get rid of the case, And I'm way out in the San Fernando Valley. And the judge said, "Oh, Mr. Spado, I hear this all the time. Okay, you can't pay it right now. You got to wait. We got to wait for this." I hear that. I said, "Your Honor," I said, "let everybody take a lunch break." I said, "Allow my lawyer to follow me back to my home. I'll give my lawyer the money. He'll come back and pay it to the court. Is that okay?" She said, "You can do that?" I said, "I can do that." I said, "It's not a cat. It's not a check. You don't have to wait for it to clear. It'll be cash." Okay? So that's what happened. But still, I mean, they were poof like that there. I was violated and they gave me no reason. So the Department of Justice and how things work in this country, uh, they're crazy. I think we got a lawyer around here who just said he respected Snow. Respected lawyer, I am your big follower. Thank you, I appreciate that. Joe Brown is great, I'll tell you. Anybody know Joe Brown or able to write, tell him I'd like to get a hold of him because I would love to have him be on my show. Okay? Uh, and look at, I had to laugh. This Charlie Kirk, the guy who made him unalive, was found because of his father. All right, was found by the state police in Utah. Okay? Cash Patel had nothing to do with his arrest. It was state. But Donald Trump comes out on TV and thanks Cash Patel for a wonderful job he did. What did he do? Now they're trying to make it a federal case. I don't know how. I'm going to have to study how they can make it a federal case, but I'm sure that there's a way that they could, okay? Because, laws, they say, are to protect us. But is that true? So, folks, I want to thank you all for coming here today. All right? Please subscribe, okay? Let's hope that Charlie Sheen's agent gets back to me. If not, if I run into Charlie someday, I'll know I'll be able to get on my show. All right? I'm going to be bringing you entertainers and other people that I'm going to be bringing to my studio, okay? So you can see people. All right? Crazy Chris, yes. A lot of people are mourning that. It's a terrible thing. But you got thousands of people celebrating it. What's wrong with people? How do you celebrate something like that? That is what's wrong with this country. So, folks, I'm going to get my day moving here. I slept late this morning. I came to you later than I was going to, but I want to thank you all for coming. Everybody have a great, blessed day. All my love and respect as usual to all of you. God bless. Take care, everybody.